Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and anything else that may well be watching. Guys, it's the Man United agenda. There's a few things on it today. Obviously, the Sancho saga continues. Updates on the Anthony situation, but we are going to talk about the main topic of the show is how Amrabat and Hojlund improve us. Try and end the show with a smile on our face at least, maybe. I got bath time with me, so you know it's going to be tactical. You know there's bound to be some disagreements, although we're not talking about McTominay. So let's get the show on the road. Evening bath time. How we doing, my friend?
I'm very well, Mr. B. I've been away for a week, and during that time, I've watched a hell of a lot of Manchester United fan channels, and they're all rubbish, like compared to us, in my opinion. And a lot of that is down to the community, who are not idiots. So, like, happy to see chat, happy to see you. Not so happy to discuss what I think we're going to discuss, though.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll breeze through that unless the guys and ladies in the chat want to extend on it. But as I said, I'm not into dealing. I'm not into bad news. I'd rather come on here and talk about something pleasant. But look, we'll get it going anyway. Big T, how are you, my friend? Stephanie, we see you. Vincent Bullock, I understood your message today. How you doing, man? Stephanie, Amrabat and Hoyland remind me of Ince and Hughes, respectively. Winners and warriors are just what we need at the moment. Big up, Mr. B, and bath time. Thank you very much. Matthew Bassett, evening all. Big T, we're conceding just under 2 goals a game on average for this season. I think it's got to change. All right. Well, look, let's get the shitty stuff out of the way. Um, the Sancho saga. It rumbles and rumbles and rumbles. We didn't expect it to be finished today. Ten Hag's gone on holiday, so
Has he?
he's not going to be. Yeah, apparently he's on holiday. He's taking a break.
Um, I don't know what to say, but all right. So, well, the first thing that's interesting about Sancho is that we got the Champions League squad published today, and like the notable exceptions are Donny van der Beek is not in that squad, but Sancho is. And Garnacho's not in the squad, but he's a kid, so like he's on a B list or something like that, so it doesn't really matter. But I just
I was wondering, yeah, so could you explain that? Could you explain that to me on bath time?
I think right. I'm sort of guessing a bit here, but I think that if a player is under a certain age, that they're submitted on a separate list that is not the 25. So you remember back in the day we had that stupid law about Welsh people were foreign and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Giggs and
When
Keane.
and Schmeichel couldn't play. Well, had to choose Schmeichel in the game, or Schmeichel didn't play in one of our. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, like it's sort of like it's a sort of like the sort of opposite of that, where like you can submit your main squad and then you can have a sort of like reserve list of youth players. And in order to get a bit more space on the main list, Garnacho will be on the B list. So it means that we can put Johnny Evans in, for example, and not be like numerically penalised. And I expect I noticed Shaw was on the list as well, which is quite promising. I thought he was out till Christmas.
Well, let's hope that that's a sign that he will be back, and it's not just a hopeful. They haven't just stuck his name in, hoping that he's going to get back. Hopefully, there's a definite time scale to his injury.
Yeah, and Malasia's on that list as well. So we might, who knows, we might be seeing them sooner than we thought.
Well, they were saying that Malacia would have been back before Shaw anyway, didn't they? I'm sure when he gave his half briefing that he said that Shaw was going to be Shaw was going to be out. Malassi was going to be in ahead of Shaw.
Yeah, so there's some hopeful things there, but I mean the Sancho stuff. The fact he's on our squad list, and we might be missing a right winger for a bit, makes me think that like Ten Hag's going to have to show his world famous interpersonal skills. We all know he's fantastic man manager, and and get the squad together, and get Sancho back in the fold, because from what I've seen on Twitter, and I don't believe a lot that's on Twitter, but it seems that like when Sancho's not selected, it just pisses everyone off by acting like a princess all week. And as a princess myself, I sort of sympathise with him that if you go in, do your best, you're not getting picked. Like I'm not happy about that either. But I think.
Do you think he's doing his best?
Well, it's never been mentioned before that he's been bad in training at United, but it might have happened. I don't know, but I just don't know what to think with Sancho. He's been a huge disappointment, and if he'd just kept his gob shut for 24 hours, he'd have a massive opportunity to stake down a spot at United. But then he goes and does like his keyboard stuff, and we're in this. Then Ten Hag's gone on holiday. It's just brilliant times at my football club.
I mean, you've kind of drifted on and drifted out, saying that he would have been playing right wing. But before we do that, could you just read out a couple of these stars for me, please?
Sure. All right, I've just pressed show on the comments that you've put up.
Sorry. Oh, right, got you.
Okay, Rugigi, WWE 2K, has said that United have zero money to play with. And Big T, Anthony has got to be suspended. So it's play Sancho or get back Palestri. I think Palestri is still at the football club. He didn't go anywhere. Oh, and it's everyone's favourite.
Do you think that they are?
Yeah. What's Bart got to say for himself? I know that hindsight is always beneficial, but if Sancho hadn't posted that and buckled down, then with Anthony's impending situation, he would have been the favourite for the right wing spot. I agree with you, Bart. Sorry, Mr. B. What were you saying?
No, that's all right. No. I'll let it go on.
It's Rebel. The financial forecast.
To be fair, I forgot what I was going to say.
All right. Well, the financial forecast done by Swedish Rumble shows expectation for finances to worsen over the next 2 quarters, and no money will be available for playing staff in January. So that's more fun Glazer stuff. And then Matthew has said that Bailey's gone to Besiktas. And I hope he does well. I've got very fond memories of Bailey. Do you remember when he was running around with his crutches in the Europa League Cup final? He was just
whacking everybody in the head.
Yeah. He's such a head case. It's Ragigi again. Would you sell Sancho to a Saudi Arabian team to generate a bit of cash? Mr. B?
Not now. We're probably going to need him up until January. But if they came in January, he wouldn't go Saudi anyway. He's not going to go Saudi. That would be just no. He can't be the first of that younger generation to go over there to be looking money. Nah, he ain't gonna go. Of course I would sell him. Saudi are paying everybody, giving people ridiculous fees for players. So yeah, I would.
It depends on the money. I've got no issues with selling Sancho to anyone, to be honest. But we are. Yeah, I think I would. I think I would, because I don't think we're winning a trophy this year. So I don't think it harms our chances of success, and it means that maybe we can get some fun people in January. But Montreal,
fun people.
Yeah, get some fun back in the club. Amad Diallo, is out till late November or early December,
So
and he's
would
reminding us.
so would he would he be the same as Garnacho then, in regards to the same situation as Garnacho, where they wouldn't have to name him?
I don't know because we bought Diallo and Garnacho we got as a youth player. So Garnacho's come through the academy. I don't know about Diallo. Well, I think he prefers to be called Ahmed. I don't think he likes being called Diallo. And then look at this blast from the past. It's our ex, Mr. B. It's Solo.
He's not an ex. He's still here. He's just in the
He's
background.
just
He gets a
hanging
little
on.
every now and then. Yeah.
And then Matthew is saying that he's not a sports finance person and he's not sure what the ramifications are. DK Wilson, Sancho seems a bit immature. Does anyone over there know anything about him off pitch? That would be speculation. And to be honest, I just like talking about football. I couldn't care less if Sancho goes Laser Quest every weekend or whatever. But with Ahmad out until the new year, Sancho out of favour, and Anthony embroiled in a controversy, Facundo has a chance of a lifetime to make the right wing slot well and truly his. I mean, you'd think so, Mr. B, but I'm of the thinking that Ten Hag does not like Palestri.
You think he doesn't like him, or do you think he thinks he's not ready?
Well, if he thought he wasn't ready, he'd have been shipped out on loan again, and the club decided to keep him. But he never gets any minutes. I don't think he's ever done anything wrong. He's always impressed me when he comes on. But
Even playing for Uruguay.
Yeah, he's an international footballer. Maybe it's because like Ten Hag's love of Anthony means that no one can get in that right wing spot when Anthony's fit. But I don't know. Like I really like Palestri, and I think that the majority of chat would probably like Palestri as well.
Give him a chance anyway. I mean, everybody else seems to be getting a chance. Look, we've drifted sort of in, and we've drifted out. We've gone sideways. I mean, look, if, as you said, if Sancho had just kept his mouth shut for another 24 hours, then he probably would have been starting the next game on the right hand side. Obviously, Anthony's missing through situations that have happened in his personal life. He's been suspended by Brazil already. And what do you think that means for us in regards to suspension and playing time, bath time? And anybody in the chat, I know you're all not, some of you may well be experts on discipline. What do you think is going to happen with this situation?
All right. Well, I love Ali McBeal, but I know nothing about the law. But my thoughts on this is that I would have thought that this has been going on for a while. It's been going on for a couple of months, this situation. I think Anthony and the club would have brought financial pressure on the accuser to try and make the case go away, like offer money, out court settlement, things like that. That hasn't happened. It's gone to like the prosecutors it looks like it's a criminal investigation. The second that charges are brought against Anthony, because it's in the public domain, I think that the club will be under enormous pressure to suspend him. Like there will already be charities and things like that writing very strong letters to sponsors and to the club itself. I hush money, that's illegal. Well, yeah, but I mean, I spent a bit of time in Brazil. You'd be amazed.
Alleged hush money. Yeah, let me just get that out there before we get in any trouble. Yeah, go on, sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, allegedly, I think that the club would have done everything possible. I mean, we're in trouble if that's true about the two doctors went to treat her. That might come back to bite us. But I think that Anthony is going to be suspended by the club, and we won't see him again. That's like my sort of gut feeling.
Again, or again until the case is settled, or you feel that look, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just it's so annoying, like what is going on, and I really wish that we had players in our football club that represented us as fans better than allegedly going around and battering up their partners.
Well, look, this is one from David Harrington. We have to be careful suspending players on hearsay. It's his word against hers. So far, no evidence is in the public, with no charges brought to him.
Yeah, I think
Let's see. Rebels got one. So yeah, go on.
I think that's a great point about we have to be careful. But the thing is that if the police launch a criminal prosecution, they believe that they have enough evidence, like to that someone is guilty and things. And when that happens, when legal prosecution, like a criminal prosecution, is launched, we have to suspend the player if it's known publicly.
Well, that brings us on to Palestri then. That'll bring us that'll bring us on to Palestri or Bruno. To be fair, and look, that just falls perfectly into our little half chat that we were talking about earlier on. How
Yeah.
do Amrabat and look? This is let's try and put a smile on our faces, guys. Obviously we know what information is out there, but I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about how we're going to be better in 2 weeks when we come back after the international break. And I think I've got the perfect person to get this part of the show going. I know you're not how are you, an Amrabat fan? You know what? I'm going to ask you. Tell us, Amrabat, what you thinking? Are you a fan?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I'm hopeful of what he can bring to the team. Like, first thing is that the man's a competitor. Like, we've seen all our players over the years like shirking tackles, like not going in 110%, like kind of letting us down by not like fully committing their like physicality to the game. And Amrabat isn't like that. Amrabat's a little warrior. It's like Sam Ganges in Lord of the Rings, little hobbit, just charging around, fighting everyone. But I think that like everyone like from okay, so when we had the Arsenal game, we were perfectly fine in our first phase play, which was basically passing it about at the back. Like we weren't getting pressed, but it looked nice and pretty. But then when we got the ball, it was just Casemiro banging it to Anthony or someone whacking it up the pitch. Like there was like no one was running or making angles or supporting their teammates. Amrabat, I think, will do that. I think he'll move around a bit more. He's mobile and he's fit. But excitingly, I don't think that Amrabat. I think that what we might see is Amrabat at 6 as a single pivot, and I think we might see Casemiro go into the 8, which is where I personally would play him.
Oh, you feel that is everybody was what everybody was expecting Casemiro to stay as the 6. So you think they might swap it?
Yeah, I think that what we're going to see with our right wing problems is Bruno, club captain, he's going to play. I think he's going to get stuck out on the right wing. Certainly with the Sancho situation and the fact that I think Ten Hag distrusts Palestri. And I think that we will see Ericsson, Casemiro, and Amrabat as as like the midfielders in the middle, and I'm really happy with that. I think that that's a really good mix where you've got Ericsson, who is by far our best ball player. Like he looks after the ball, he receives it well, he makes intelligent angles. He's very disciplined tactically. He's just, I think he's our best midfielder, Ericsson. So we get him in. We got Casemiro, who does most of his best work, like further up the pitch. He's incredible at like crashing into the box and winning headers. He was the guy that put the ball through for Garnacho at the weekend when it was offside. I think that and also he's put in a lot of good crosses from the half spaces. Casemiro. I think that he's much better like further forward. And then we've got Amrabat, who can cover ground vertically and horizontally, likes a tackle, and I think we'll be much more secure. With the only exception being that we've got issues with height and aerial balls in the team. But I'm quite excited to see what we do with Amrabat. I'm hoping that he can knit things a bit better between the midfield and the attack by being in the midfield.
All right. Well, there's a couple of things. DK Wilson just wants to clarify. Sorry for the confusion. Off the pitch, wrong term. I mean, pre or post practice, extra drills, weights, running, working on aspects of his game along with staff members. Again, DK Wilson, they don't really show those things on there. They show it in pre-season when they want to be impressed. But once the season starts, you never ever see them posted anything about extra work. So I'm not sure. I think this is one for both of us. From Big T, Casemiro can't cope in midfield alone. Where's it gone? Yeah. So what makes you think Amrabat can? Are you saying Amrabat is a better player than Casemiro? I'm not going to say that, but what I will say is that he's going to get around the pitch a lot quicker than Casemiro can.
Oh yeah,
Half time?
100%. Casemiro is probably the slowest football player at our club. Like that doesn't make him a bad.
He's not.
Who's-
He's not.
Are you saying Maguire is slower than Casemiro?
Yeah, I would like to think that Maguire was slower than Casemiro.
Well, I don't know, but
Honest,
anyway,
I would.
yeah. All right. Well, we agree Casemiro is a slow player. But he's a strong player. But okay. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying. Right. So what I'm saying, Big T here, is it's not that swap Amrabat for Casemiro and everything's fine. Is that I think playing that Casemiro is an 8 and Eriksen is an 8 means that Casemiro, who is more defensively minded, will be dropping a bit deeper than Bruno. And Eriksen will as well. And it will mean that there'll be more support around them. And Amrabat, when he's defending in between the lines, is faster off the mark than Casemiro. So he'll be able to close players down. He'll be able to jump better. Jump is like where you move from one line to another. And I think that there'll be more support in the centre of the pitch. So I'm not saying that Amrabat is a better player than Casemiro. He's better at some things. But the fact that I think that those three as a blend is much better than Mount, Fernandes and Casemiro.
We've got one from Mr. Malmin. Amrabat is the workhorse we need at the club. He's a pit bull and runs and runs and runs, putting solid tackles. He works like Eriksen, dropping to help the defence while the wing backs go forward. Agreed?
Yeah.
Disagree?
I mean, so he's talking about La Salida Volpiano, which is where a central midfielder drops in to make a back three. The thing is that I don't think that we're going to see a lot of that because the back three is made with Onana now, who will step in between the centre backs and things. What I'm hoping for from Amrabat is second phase play, which is where we move the team up the pitch by having technical security on the ball, offering passing angles. And I'm just hoping that what I'm hoping from Amrabat is he's a deep lying thread with better technique. So you've got all that like aggression and that energy, but not tripping over your feet.
Andrew Williams, shape and all this stuff, character and attitude is much more important. I do agree, but you can't train attitude and you can't train character. That's something that's inbred, I'm afraid.
And Andrew knows a lot about being inbred. Yeah, I think you're right, Andrew, about character and attitude and stuff like that. But the thing is shape and tactics are important. Like, you need these players to go out and do these things. And I think that Amrabat, from what we've seen in Morocco, he did a hell of a lot of covering for Hakimi. He didn't seem to mind, like, doing the hard stuff. And that's what I want. I want players that can sacrifice themselves and, like a water carrier.
Oh, we don't have one. We have another one of them. We have another. Who did Cantona call? Deschamps. He's saying that we need a Deschamps, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, Fred called himself a piano carrier. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but he understood his role, didn't he? To be fair, Fred kind of Fred understood the role that we wanted to play him in. You want to go through some of these stars? Hold on, let me get
Yeah.
from. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, we'll get Amrabat up.
Do you want me to show them?
Yeah, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, it's Bart. He's back again. Hojlund's pace and movement during a break should really help Manchester United as he can be another outlet for goals. For Onana to ping to free the wingers and help Bruno get some assists. Hopefully, I mean, like, Hojlund's movement was actually pretty poor against Arsenal. Hopefully, that's just because he hasn't really trained with the players and he doesn't know the patterns of play. But I mean, I think we're all bloody praying that Hojlund is really, really good because we don't want to be going back to an emergency Weghorst loan or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are we expecting too much from Hojlund? Are we going to be expecting too much from Hojlund by half time? I mean, it's
absolutely.
You know what? It really does seem like that. It's like we're expecting him to be a ready-made striker. We've got to accept that he's not going to be. I think he will benefit the team, but I know what I want him to be. But United fans' expectations are so high sometimes.
Well, it's like, I mean, you think of the strikers that we've had at the football club in the last couple of years. Like, we've had Cavani and Ronaldo. Like, and they might have been old, but they're like elite level players. And we could, and like, we couldn't really consistently sort of supply them with what they needed for goals. I mean, Ronaldo was an absolute animal at the club. Like, that hat trick against Tottenham, where he gobbled the ball at a corner, wanted it so much. But like Hojlund is no Ronaldo, and he's no Cavani, and we're going way over the top. We're treating him like Robin van Persie 10 years ago. Like you're gonna have to be patient with him, and you got to remember that our wingers are not traditional wingers. They're not getting the ball into the box like all that often. Like, to be honest, I'm hoping we just use him as a wall. Like, we can boot the ball up to him, he can control it, he can like hold it up, he can get more people into play, we can get up the pitch, and then we can go from there. That's my expectation for him. But what's Alex Toothall got to say? I'm reading it. Bloody hell.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to. I'm trying to flick my screen down. Sorry. Yeah, go on. If you want me to read it, I'll read it. If you want to do it.
No, I'll read it. All right. Amrabat is decent in all stats, but elite in progressive passes. He will be lovely for getting the ball through to the final third. I hope so. The stats that matter to me, though, are that he's played in Belgium, Holland, and Italy at mid-table clubs. Like, that concerns me a little bit. Like, there's a lot of pressure playing for Manchester United.
That's the same one. And that's This is where Big T said, why we the first big club at 27? If he was that good. What do you think? Is this a Ten Hag system signing? This is somebody who he feels that can do the job. I mean, he's worked with him before, but he was impressive in the World Cup. I was actually impressed with him, the role that he played in the World Cup. So I think that he will be. I think he will be good enough, and maybe it's just his time.
I mean, like, think about Morocco play in a very different way to how we play. They played in a low block and sort of shithoused their way to a semi-final. Like, we're not going to be playing anything like that. But when you talk about midfielders, like, anyone who plays behind the ball, so like Jorginho, for example, none of them really get the understanding until they are about 26 or 27. So I wouldn't necessarily be that put off that we're his first big club at 27, because that midfield role that we all hope he's going to play is one that takes a hell of a lot of time to learn. Like, I mean, Pirlo didn't learn it till he was in his 30s. It's a really difficult position to play, and you need a lot of experience. So I wouldn't worry too much about his age. It's more his pedigree.
Okay. We've got a few stars coming in here, boy.
Yeah. So we've got Zoe's Media House. How are you, Zoe? Casemiro can't cope. It's Bruno that can't cope. Bruno has to be dropped for Mason Mount or Amrabat pushing Eriksen in the 10. Amrabat will not be playing at
You
10.
called he won't be playing at a 10, but you did talk about Mason Mount playing at number 10 and maybe Bruno going to the right.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would play, like, what I would do, and everyone's going to shout at me for this, I would play Eriksen at left wing, I'd play Mount at right wing, and I would have Bruno, Casemiro, and Amrabat in the middle with Hojlund up front. I think that team can look after the ball and will make more chances than having Rashford and Antony on the wing. But I don't. Bruno's club captain. He's not going to be dropped.
Do you think he'll be moved?
Yeah, I think that he will just put him out on the right wing because Bruno's running is so important to the team that he's been played out of position. Bruno should be played as the left central midfielder and the way he was under Ollie. But we play him as the right central midfielder because he's got so much ground to cover. And it's just I think that the system we're playing is really, really poor. That we're putting people in the wrong positions, and we're letting some of our players get away with not working, committing, or running, and it's really annoying me. Very unhappy with what I'm seeing on the pitch.
4 games in, go on.
No, it's not. It's not just 4 games in. Like after we won the Carabao Cup, next game we lost 7-0 to Liverpool. We've been on a downward spiral since we won that.
Yeah. To be fair, you are right. We have the final was their
it's like the peak.
Word, whatever moment it is. Yeah. You're right.
And I mean, Martinez has not been the same player since he came back from the World Cup. Like, I don't think he's shown the form that he showed in the first half of the season. And in fact, like basically after Eriksen came out of the team, I thought that everyone played a lot more poorly. But Big T,
we
had the best character and attitude the game has ever seen, and Eric threw it away. Ronaldo.
Explain, Big T, please.
About Ronaldo.
Oh, well,
it has to be, and
I'm. Yeah.
And here's Andrew Williams.
He had to go.
Laughing at a joke I made. Yeah, he did have to go. But the thing is, though, is that like it was just handled so poorly. Like that, I don't know.
You think it was handled? Do you think it was handled poorly? He came. What more could you have done? He came out. He gave an interview with Piers Morgan, basically lighting up the manager. What else could you have done? You say it was handled poorly. What? How could it been handled differently? Do you think?
With respect, like I think that Ronaldo, he lost his child, which you wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy. And Ten Hag was pretty cold about it, and that obviously put things on a bad standing. But when you say, "Here, I'm not bringing you on against City out of respect," and then the next game against Tottenham, you say, we got a time-wasting substitution. Come on, Ronaldo, let's go. That's incitement. He's trying to get his balls out on the table and say, I'm the boss. And the thing is that we had to sign Ronaldo to protect Ronaldo's legacy at Manchester United. Like, even something as cynical as all the shirt sales we're going to get for 100 years. Like, couldn't let him go to City. And then I think that Ten Hag put him in a position where he's left, like, on a bad note. And like, I mean, your son is probably too young to remember, like, the Ronaldo we remember coming on against Bolton. But he
doesn't know anything about him.
Yeah, he'll just remember, like, the tantrums and things like that. And I think that as a manager, you've got to manage these situations. And I think Ten Hag, like, let us and the club down by not protecting one of our favourite sons. But what's Harley got to say for himself? Remember the number of big clubs who wanted Amrabat this summer? He turned them all down. Bayern, Barcelona, PSG, Liverpool. I didn't know he turned any of them down, to be honest. I thought he just turned down Galatasaray and Fulham. And then
No, he turned down the big teams, but he turned down the big teams half time.
he turned down Brazil 1970. He turned down Pep's Barcelona. He's turned everyone down. He just wants to play with Luke Shaw. It's been his dream.
He wants to play with
what's
Bruno.
happening?
If he wants to
Yeah.
play with Bruno, if a lot of people in the chat, with him, I tell you, Bruno's getting it in the chat today, boy.
Is he? Oh no. I mean, I think that he really came to play with Johnny Evans. All right, we'll get to these Bruno comments pretty quickly, but Andy's saying that great players can play multiple roles. We haven't got enough great players. I don't think we've got one great player, to be honest. I'd just be happy with one. And Hojlund should improve us, allows us to have 2 speed outlets in the team. Casemiro,
He's
Casemiro,
rapid.
Maguire,
Yeah.
and Hojlund.
He I heard he was quick, but when he went off after Rashford, boy, I thought, okay, yeah, we've definitely got something who could. I like pace. I like players with pace. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy them 2 breaking on a team. To be fair,
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy, our team, because like Ten Hag wants to play positional football, like where people are occupying spaces in between the lines and all this stuff. And yet all our players are absolutely fantastic at attacking space, like Rashford, like Hojlund, like Bruno, like even like Anthony. I really hope that he's used correctly, because he looks like he looks good. He looks like he could be a real handful. And speaking of real handfuls, here's Zoe. Bruno hasn't had a break since he signed. He looked tired versus Arsenal. Fans don't speak the truth about Bruno, and fans think we have something against him. What do you think, Mr. B? Is there an unspoken conspiracy against Bruno Fernandes?
I thought it was rival fans that disliked Bruno, but I realised that there's a lot of fans in our fan base who dislike Bruno, and I still don't get it. I see the comments from Big T. I see the comments from Zoe. I see the comments from people on Twitter, and I just don't see it. Yeah, he moans and he throws his hands up in the air, but I wouldn't have anybody else as my captain of Man United. Just my opinion, and that's all.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you're allowed your opinion, you're allowed to argue it, and so just zipping forward to a couple of these Bruno comments. Like Bart is saying, most fans hate Bruno for a few reasons: the number of times he gets dispossessed, his constant moaning and whinging, and the apparent non-performance in big games. That could be any player in history, to be perfectly honest. And then Zoe is, when do the knives come out for Bruno? She's asking you to be part of a criminal conspiracy. And any more? I dislike Bruno because he does not respect possession enough, or enog. I kind of agree with this. Like I think that Bruno is probably our best player. Everything goes through him. He's loyal to a fault to his managers. He's involved with his teammates. Like, you can see him on social media just whinging at them about when they're going to be back playing football and stuff. And he would probably be my choice for captain as well. But the issue with Bruno is that you can't really control a football match with Bruno Fernandes, because he plays like it's the last 10 minutes of a World Cup final in any game at any moment. I think that he has shown a lot of discipline when he's played deeper, though. And I wouldn't mind seeing, like, Ericsson at 10, and then, Casemiro, McTominay, Amrabat at 6, I don't mind. But Bruno is the 8. Like, and just to, like, get the ball, pass it, move up the pitch and stuff. But he's, every manager we've had has used him in the same way, which is that he delivers the final ball, he creates everything, and it's an issue because he's been here for a very long time, and we haven't performed as a team. and because he's so important to the team, I can understand the argument that maybe he is the center of the problems because the whole team is based around him.
Wow. Wow.
Is that ridiculous?
No, it's an opinion. Parts of it, I do get. You probably do need. See, I'm not into building a team around an individual player.
Yeah.
I would rather have a system and get the players to play the system than rather build a team around a specific. Because if that player doesn't play, they have to be on their game every single game. You know, and if they're not, then there's
where
issues.
Do we make our chances? Where do we make our chances from?
Well, it's not from the bloody left or the bloody right, is it?
No, I
mean, it's Bruno. Bruno creates everything for the team.
Right. So do you think that is like mismanaging the team from 4 or 5 managers, like from Oli, Carrick, Ragnick, Ten Hag?
No, he's a. There has to be You see, these players like managers. I mean, Ten Hag talks about training like it's a game. I can see Bruno taking every training session dead serious, as in he goes out there like he's playing a football match. And I think Ten Hag likes that. And as a manager, you want to see your players in training working hard, and doing what you're asking them to do. So I can see that part of his game. I understand that people say that he wastes the ball a lot, but he's a creative player, and creative players try and see passes that other players don't see. So yeah, there is going to be a lot of wastefulness. I think he's improved in his lack of giving the ball away this season. So all right, we're only 4 games in, and we've won 2 and lost 2. So maybe I'm wrong, but he doesn't seem to have that wasteful. Yes, he's the same Bruno with his petulance, but I'm not taking that away from him. I wouldn't take that away from him.
I don't mind petulance. Like I quite like it where Bruno starts crying because the throw-in's gone the wrong way. Like, he's a real whinge bag. But my issue with Bruno is that when you look at players like Odegaard, Arsenal, who is probably their creator-in-chief, you see them creating in very different ways, which is like cute balls around the edge of the box. And the last time I think I saw Bruno do that was it was a free kick against Manchester City. I remember when he flicked it up to Martial to volley in. Beautiful little improvised move.
Yeah. But it's like, do we play? We don't play that way though, do we? This, I think, because we don't play, we want to play transit, possession football.
Mm-hmm.
But Ten Hag hasn't talked about us being a possession football team. He's talked about us being a transitional team. He hasn't spoken about us being a possession-based football team. I understand he wants us to keep hold of the football when we've got it, but his thing is he wants us to be the best transitional team in Europe. Transition is that more without the football, moving into space, right? Have I got that wrong?
No, transition is like the moment between winning between it's like recovering the ball. So like when the opposition lose the ball. Yeah, and then like you have all these different things about how players have to go out wide and you have to manipulate centre backs. But essentially it's just counter-attacking. And like Brighton's success at the moment is built through synthetic transitions where they control possession, but they're trying to bait the team in so that they can then like spring a transition. And I think that's what Ten Hag wants to do. But my issue with Bruno is that like we can't be a possession-based team with someone who smacks the ball about with so little care all the time. Like that long ball to Rashford all the time. Like Rashford isolated, like just going down blind alleys and things. I think Bruno plays a part in that. And I want Bruno in the team, and I want to keep Bruno. I think he's our best player. Like I think Eriksen's our best player, but I think Bruno is the spark in the team. I just think that we should maybe have more variation in our attacks rather than long balls out to the wing. But let's see.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see that as a definite tactic that he plays. Preston Lindo, welcome. I've never seen your name before. Welcome to the agenda. We need about three or more Brunos. His work ethic, Bruno's his work ethic. The players up top to stop, and the players up top to stop being selfish. I.e., Anthony and Bruno. Looks like a Bruno fan, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfectly fine. My issue with Bruno and his work ethic is Bruno's work ethic is very good going forwards, but he has been a bit lax over the years, like coming backwards. And Big T transitions about not having the ball so you can recover it and sucker punch your opponents. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but I'm not allowed to get my diagrams out and draw my lines. And we've had a super chat, Mr. B.
King Stash, I'll leave this for you to read half time.
I mean, this man's got a stash, and he's like sending it to us. Our captain is like our club, chaotic, zero composure. I think that's a bit unfair. Bruno's really good at penalties. He's composed with penalties, unless it's against Aston Villa. But yeah, he is like. But one thing I would say about Bruno, right, is that at Manchester City, who everyone sees as the best team in the world, Kevin De Bruyne is allowed to play like Bruno. He's the only one, but he's allowed to like lose the ball. He's allowed to do what he wants, but he is a far more powerful runner. And he also loves Bruno. Right, so let's get back to some more. God, there's a lot of comments going on here tonight. Yeah, DK Wilson. Kevin De Bruyne thinks Bruno's one of the best. Think a competitor like who's known as the best at his position might know what he's talking about. You would hope so. And Regigi, or I don't what Rigi, I don't know. Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, I think you've got it right.
Regigi. Bruno Fernandes. I don't think he's ever missed a game for Sporting Lisbon or Manchester United or Portugal unless forced to. I think Bruno has missed like 2 games or something, and they were both over illness. Incredible engine, and it's probably because he lives like a professional footballer and takes it seriously and watches what he eats. Stefan Welch. If Man United fans want to see great possession-based football, then United will need to sell Bruno and Rashford. I do not disagree. Mr. B is the head defender of Rashford. How are you feeling about the Rashford backlash?
Don't let me agree. He does. Listen, he doesn't play with his head up. I mean, as I said, we were talking about the break in the last game with Hojlund and Rashford. He had so much opportunities to have played the pass. He doesn't see the pass. Going past players, I have no problem. But if he just played with his head up and got those sideways sweaty assists, just the little sideways passes, and that's where I think Sancho would benefit the team. That's where I think Sancho. That's where now we've got a player who will play an assist and can play the little cute pass. Sancho's the guy, but he might not even get a bloody game now. Oh, Zoe, why? I'm not even going to ask. I'm not even going to ask you why. You've told us why in order to chat. Come on, Zoe. Who you got? All right then, Zoe. I'm going to put it to you. Who you going to replace him with? Who do you want to replace him with? Niall, long time no see. Oh, God.
Mr. B, whilst we wait for Zoe, I've got a question for you, right? Hojlund, do you think that he will have a better season with Rashford at left wing or Sancho at left wing?
Okay. For his personal numbers, I think he would be better with Sancho playing. But for team numbers, as in the amount of goals that they're both going to score, I think we'll be better with Rashford and Hojlund.
But for points,
for points, I'm going to. I'm taking Rashford and Hojlund. Yeah, I think we will score more points with Rashford and Hojlund playing than with Rashford not playing. But for his
I
personal
think the
numbers,
other
as in
way.
assists, and do you
Yeah, because I think that Sancho would
give me
look
your
after the
explanation,
ball.
bath time?
I think Sancho would look after the ball better. I think that Rashford running down dead ends and losing the ball and not tracking back correctly and things like that. I think that Sancho would make better use of the ball and would allow us more possession, and more possession should translate into more goals. And if Hojlund is this physical beast, and if I get my wish of Casemiro as a number 8, just wobbling into the box like the Marshmallow Man and Ghostbusters, like I can see us getting more goals. Andrew.
Okay, sorry. See, yeah, I know. It's that's why I put it up.
Yeah,
it totally like I saw what he said. I'm thinking, but he said we're gonna get more points. Okay, okay. Andrew, come
this
on now.
season,
Listen, you have to explain that. Yeah, you have to explain
yeah,
that one. Go on, yeah. Sorry, go.
I'm just shocked because I know that Andrew is like, I mean, he is a big hater of Rashford, and he hates all our forwards. I
I think
think.
he's a bigger hater of Sancho. I think he's a bigger hater of.
I think
I think
Anthony's
he's
his
a bigger
number
hater
one.
of Sancho.
He's just a hater, Andrew. He just hates them all, and I'm not too far behind him. They're so annoying. And then I'm just going to show this comment because I know you won't, which is if you play McTominay just behind Hojlund, I think he gets 15 goals and 10 assists a season. Like Özil numbers. I agree. McTominay, Özil.
I'm,
Yeah.
Nothing's
Yeah. No, he's
going
winding you
out.
up. I I wouldn't agree with that, but one thing that I genuinely wouldn't mind seeing McTominay given a go as the 9 at some point, because I think that he'll have a similar playstyle to Hojlund, like very physical. McTominay's is a good ball striker and he's good in the air. I don't think that those are questionable. Like other things you can talk about, like losing the ball or like being slightly dodgy with his cover shadow and screening and things. Like those are all up for debate. But as a ball striker and as an aerial threat, I think McTominay is similar in profile to Hojlund. But Ten Hag won't play him, so we just have to watch Scotland to see that, I guess. And then I don't think I've seen
I'll
aces
believe.
before.
No,
He's
how am
saying
I doing that?
Sancho's. Yeah, you can do it if you want. We can share it, Mr. B. What's yours is 9.
Oh, oh, thank you very much. Sancho's dying to leave United. Saudi Arabia transfer window is still open. Bid will come in for him, guaranteed. Let's hope it's decent money. Let's hope it's decent money.
What would you accept for Sancho?
Given the sorry, from Saudi or
Yeah,
from anybody.
from anyone. What's the fee that you sell Sancho for?
I would love us to get 50 million, but I think it may well be a 40, 35, 40.
Even after his manager has said he's not a very good trainer, 35 million,
Somebody's gonna take
350
some.
grand a week
Sancho's
wages.
got oh shit. Yeah, yeah. You forget about the Woodward effect, don't we? Oh my god, I don't know. I don't see this situation with Sancho um ending well. To be fair, I would love to see him buckle down, but he doesn't seem to me to be that kind of character. But I might be wrong. I don't know Sancho. I don't know him at all. But he doesn't strike me as that character who's going to put his name down, lay down his thing in training to get himself back on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I think that we often laugh at players you do, like McTominay, Fred, and Dan James, but they all had the right attitude, I think, and I just think that I told you this before. Sancho plays like he doesn't want to get his trainers dirty. Like he
Yeah,
just doesn't
and he doesn't
seem
want to get hit.
committed. Yeah, it just I don't know, ballet or something is him. Okay, Preston Lindo. I understand the inverted wingers, but I'd put Rashford on the right and Ante on the left. So instead of cutting in, they just swing across, giving the facts M. I
You know what? I do understand it. I would rather have two. I would rather have a fuck off, will you? I'd rather have a two-footed I'd rather have a two-footed winger. To be fair, who can go either side. This inverted cutting in, that's great certain times in the game, but sometimes you do need to be able to go on the outside. So I would have two. I'd have two.
yeah, I mean we don't have a lot of time to talk about inverted wingers, but there are huge advantages to them, and like you're more likely to score with crosses from the half space than you are from the byline. Like byline is cutbacks and stuff like that, and we've never really we're not a cutback team. I understand the point, but it's just Rashford's not effective on the right for me, and I don't want like Anthony to turn out to be really good on the left because we've got like 6 or 7 like fairly decent left wingers and no one out on the right. But who knows? Right, what else have we got here? God, everyone is like very chatty tonight. You won't put
That's
that one
good.
up.
I McTominay has got a Skulls Rocket Gold written all over him. No, he does. He does have it in him, but it's the rest of his game that I'm worried about. King Stash, I got one here. We can't act
Yeah.
like Sancho was not the best player in pre-season. He scored versus Arsenal in pre-season, and he would have been more useful than Bruno on Sunday. What I will say to that is, I had a conversation with, I think it was a Monday, during the pre-season. My thing was he playing Sancho in a position that he thought he could play him, or was he playing him to get fit?
And what was the result? What did Amonde will obviously have taken the most ridiculously optimistic view on that. I think
I'm not. I'm gone.
I would suspect
He doesn't have a position in the team.
No, he doesn't. You're right. I think that Martial is like quite good as a sort of false 9 in terms of dropping back, making angles, occupying space in between the lines. I know that everyone is a bit of a bête noir at the moment. Like everyone seems to dislike him, and he's my favourite player, but he has to go. But maybe he looked at Sancho's skill set and thought he can do something similar. And I thought Sancho was all right in pre-season. He didn't blow me away, but when you when you talk about pre-season players, there's one person who comes to mind, and it's what's called Andres Pereira.
Yeah, pre-season Perlo, innit?
Yeah, I'm with Montreal on this. Like pre-season is about getting really excited about 17 and 18-year-olds that you don't see ever again. So I wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, Sancho's just a bit of an enigma because he's obviously got a lot of good skills, but my conclusion is that he got boosted by Haaland because great players they bring people up, and I don't think that Sancho's ever got anywhere near the form he had at Dortmund playing with Haaland.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah,
it could change. We've got a forward of Haaland's what's the word? I don't want to compare
profile?
them, but he's set. He's set. Silver one. Do one. Guys, light this guy up. He's a gooner. Yeah, go on. He's a gooner. Light him up. Light him up. What's happening, big man? No disrespect. You know it's all love. Yeah, you're stitching up with your big fat face. big fat face. I don't know how you got it on there, but yeah, man. Greetings, my friend. Greetings. Nothing but love, to be fair. Talk about pre-season. What else did we have? There was one more that I saw on here. This one. I
We've
can't
got
find it.
Senor Nest Lopez. I've also said about the lad Sancho doesn't play like he doesn't want to get his shoes dirty. Sorry, but it's true. Yeah, I completely
Same as
agree.
you.
Estamos en acuerdo, senor. And
I
I'm
don't
just checking.
know what I don't know what you said, but that's great.
I said we're in agreement.
I like accents.
Yeah.
Guys, we're on the hour. Half time. We've chatted our socks off. We're on our limit before Solo tells me I'm using up our StreamYard allocation. But guys, honestly, it's been a busy one. It's been a busy one today. I'm wondering if that's down to me or down to bath time. I'm wondering. Bath time, you
Neither.
might have to come on tomorrow, mate. Yeah, you might have to come on tomorrow. Maybe it's just been a quiet night. We'll scan it all tomorrow. Thank you, Stephanie. So guys in the chat, as always, thank you for watching. You don't have to be here. I appreciate the fact that you are. If you are just passing through, please hit that like button, hit that share button, and if you're not a subscriber, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bath time. Thank you very much, as always. Really appreciated.
My pleasure, and thank you to everyone watching. Like at the beginning of the show, I said I watched a lot of Manchester United fan channels, like whilst I was meant to be working last week, and I missed. I'm a bargain, Mr. B. I think that this channel, the characters and the people we have watching, make this the most enjoyable fan channel, and I'm so pleased that like we've got this community. So I hope to see like all of you around, and it's really nice that you all choose to spend your time with us and each other. So we really appreciate it.
Oh, I love that. See, and look, just like that, Bush IG. That's on the what's that on Twitch?
That's Twitch.
Big up, man. Big up, guys. Yeah, that's Twitch. Oh, we had two Twitches on today. Guys, as I said, thanks for watching. This is the agenda. Me and Bath Time, we are out. See you all tomorrow.